I was raised Mormon, and whenever people found out that I was Mormon as a kid, they'd always tease me. They'd be like, "Oh, Bill, you're Mormon? How many wives do you have?" Right? And that hurt my feelings, and I'd start to cry and run home to my mom's. I really was Mormon. I served a Mormon mission for 2 years in the Philippines, and while I was there, I learned a language that's completely useless to me now. Anybody know the national language of the Philippines? Tagalog, yeah. And when I read it on a piece of paper, I'm like, ooh, tag along. This place is going to be delicious. That's a Girl Scout cookie. That's where they come from. That's not what it was, though. But it was a very difficult language to learn. And I was brand new in the country, and I'm walking down the street one day, and this guy pulls a knife on me. And it wasn't scary because he was Filipino. He was this big. And I had this kind of great moment where I grabbed the knife out of his hand and I threw him on the ground, and I wanted to yell at him and say something intimidating like, "Get away from me, you scumbag." But I didn't know the language that well, so instead I said, "Mahal talagan mga saging na ito," which basically means, "These bananas are too expensive." I still said it in like an angry tone. That was just the most aggressive phrase that I knew at the time. And I think he got the point. So when you go on a Mormon mission, Mormons are strict, but when you're a missionary, they're extra strict. You can't watch TV, you can't listen to music, you can't go see movies. And I started to break those rules by drinking alcohol and going to strip clubs. Yeah. And they're fun. Over there, they're fun. They're not exactly strict. The first time I go to one, it's me and 2 other missionaries that I corrupted. And we go in, and we're the only Americans in the whole place. And all the girls are trying their best to get our attention. One girl comes out, takes off all her clothes, takes a piece of ice out of the bucket, rubs it on a very intimate part of her body, and then dropped it into my beer. Yeah. So I accidentally spilled that on purpose because you're not even supposed to drink the water over there, so. Long story short, I hooked up with a whole bunch of Filipinas, got caught, was excommunicated from the Mormon church, and may or may not have between like 1 and 15 illegitimate children over there. And chances are they made some of the clothes we're wearing tonight. Oh, screw you. They're my kids. They're going to work. They're not going to be lazy and spoiled like my stepkids. Like, "I want an iPhone." Make it. A lot of people don't even know that the Mormon church is a Christian church. The actual name of the church has the word Christ in it. It's called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And when I was a kid, I didn't really like going to church, and I was also kind of dumb. So I was like, I don't really like church, but Latter-day sounds fun. But they do a lot of stuff that other churches do. Like they do baptism, right? A lot of churches do. Like Catholics, you guys do baptism. You just do it at a different time. Like when Catholics do it when you're a baby, right? You take the baby, get its head a little bit wet, baby's good to go. And now they're putting Catholic baptisms on like the internet, on TikTok and stuff. And there's 2 kinds. There's good ones, and then there's ones that don't go so well. The good ones are like, it's like a smooth young priest, and he baptized the baby like a cool way. Like he's already got his chips, but the guac just came out and he's excited, just like, yeah. Those are okay. I like the ones where things go a little wrong. Where it's an older priest and he's trying to baptize the baby and then he fumbles it a little bit and it's just like. And I always comment the same thing. I'm like, whew, that priest didn't touch that kid enough. But Mormons decided to do baptism too. They're like, oh, we're going to do baptism too. But they decided you have to wait for the age of accountability. And they decided the age of accountability, and we do this all the time in our society, by the way, age of accountability. You get a certain responsibility that goes with a certain age. So like 18 or 16, you can drive a car. 18, you can join the armed forces. 21, you can drink alcohol. I think we should switch those around a little bit. I think 16, drive a car. 18, drink alcohol. And 65, you can join the armed forces. All those boomers, they're like, I love America. Prove it. So Mormons said, oh, we do age of accountability for baptism. They decided that the age of accountability for baptism is 8 years old, which makes sense. Because obviously, by the time you're 8 years old, you know enough about the world to choose the eternal destination of your immortal soul. Your own body just barely started trusting you with teeth. But go ahead, get baptized. All right? I don't know why they don't follow what happened in the actual Bible. How old was Jesus when he got baptized? Like 30 years old. That makes sense because the whole symbolism behind baptism is to wash away sin. And when you're a baby and you're 8, you don't have any sin. But when you're 30, I don't care what you believe. You go down in that water, you come out, and you're like, I needed that. That was nice. I don't even know. I just liked it.